Hello everyone, today I'm here to talk to you about Railroad Ink / Railroad Ink Challenge. Railroad Ink, Deep Blue and Blazing Red being the originals, and now there is Shining Yellow and Lush Green as well. There's other expansions available, but these are effectively the 4 base games. Releasing almost like Pokemon games, you have these two which are almost the same apart from their expansion dice, and they are slightly different from this pair, which are again similar to each other apart from their expansion dice. So what's the differences? Well, there are some differences on the white dice. So for instance, the white dice in blue and red match each other, and the ones in green and yellow match each other. But these new ones have different dice from the original. So you can mix and match via a new game mode, but otherwise they are slightly different. It doesn't change things that much. Yes, there's new expansions, and there's even symbols on the board that can trigger bonuses. The biggest difference is probably the fact that the challenge versions have challenges. These objective goal cards that weren't in the original sets, they do differ between green and yellow, but effectively they're things like having a loop on your board somewhere, or having 3 of the 4 corners filled in. When you've done that during a round, you score points, and depending on who does it first in the rounds, you get more points. So, if 2 players do the same one within the same round, they both score the same amount of points. It's a nice extra thing that you can aim for, and to be honest, playing them and going for some gold cards, not going for others, they're fairly balanced. You don't get masses of points. It's a few here, a few there. Maybe like 4 is the maximum. So they're not massively impactful. They're just that little bit extra to think about. One thing that does mean, however, is that the older ones are easier to get to the table. They don't have symbols that trigger things on the board. They, I think, have easier to use dice, white dice. Ignoring the expansions completely, they don't have the gold cards either, so that's another wave of things you don't have to think about. You could ignore all that. Even the rulebook says, you can ignore gold cards for your first game and stuff like that while you're learning. But as the rules are written, the yellow and the green versions are slightly harder to teach to first-time players. One final slightly maybe annoying change is that they've gone from 1 to 6 players in these versions to 1 to 4. Now, I think this is definitely encouraging you more to buy both versions. Whereas, 1 to 6 boards is a good amount. You very rarely need more than 6. Whereas, as soon as you have a 5th player, you kind of want the second box. There's modes that may mean you probably want more boards because it allows for more players, but also getting more dice. There's a new mode that allows you to draft dice rather than everyone just using the same communal pool. Out of all of them, red is still my least favourite, expansion-wise. Obviously, the base game plays pretty much the same across all of them, with a few minor tweaks on the new ones. But the destructiveness of the red ones, the meteors and the lava, I don't like that. Whereas especially with likes of trails, or even the rivers, they're very much additions, and it feels like you're getting more rather than something being taken away from you in red. So very happy having all of them. Whether they'll all stay on the shelf, they probably will, because there's enough difference for me as a fan of them. Maybe not for everyone though. You certainly don't need all 4 of these boxes if you're just starting out. But I'm also going to be very excited to see lots of little expansions with the extra 4 dice. So that's something to look forward to. Anyway, that's been Railroad Ink. Challenge and not challenge. And I'm Oliver East, signing out.